guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have the Dokkan event teasers or announcements here for both Global Dokkan as well as JP Dokkan. Now, on the Global Dokkan tweet, which, damn, actually I probably should pull up. Yeah, you guys, I like to show rather than just tell, right? Alright, so we have the tweets right here, made by Global Dokkan, which of course gets a closer look at the characters. So here we can see that the actual campaign period starts on the 21st right there. So, we are getting very soon. We're getting the Dokkan event teasers for Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. He of course is going to be the one that actually has the kind of, Dokkan event itself. So we're going to get these now. We should get details in 24 hours, so it'll be about, again, 3 a.m. on the 20th is when we should get the details, and then, of course, we'll get the data download and stuff like that, leading to the actual celebration and the characters and all the good stuff coming out. So, I mean, the number one thing here is, will these characters actually be good? It is very hard to say. It has kind of been random. At points, we have had heroes characters that were very good. And then, of course, we've also had real stinker hero characters. Now, at the moment, I would consider 2022 mostly a massive fumble. I just didn't feel like those characters were really good enough. I mean, if you guys have not realized, typically, my only real concern with units these days is just how effective they are, right? I think Dokkan, should sort of master the peaks and valleys type stuff in terms of, like, which type of character gets, like, the Dokkan Fest or the LR, right? So it's like, worldwide, I would argue was pretty hype with Vegito Blue and Zamasu and stuff like that. So, that gives them sort of like the avenue to then go for some lesser hype stuff, right? And then at that point, just as long as the characters are good, I'm satisfied. So number one thing I'm looking for here is that these characters are actually going to be good. So, I mean, we have numerous characters that are going to be coming out, right? The Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, we have the Super Saiyan 3 Rose, the Scientist Toa, she's just a free-to-play card. Kind of a bummer here. My disappointment with this character is that Toa is not a new named character. I would much rather they give us, like, something fresh. I mean, obviously, I like Toa. Toa getting more cards is fine, of course, but yeah, I would like a new thing, right? Gold Metal Cooler and Modified Janemba, of course, are going to be getting their Dokkan Awakenings. And we also have, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly, Dark King Fu, and then, of course, the Blue Vegeta Berserk Controlled. So all of these things, right, are going to be coming here, which is going to be interesting to see. The thing about these characters that is a real bummer is, like, some of these characters could be nice options. Like, do you think that the Vegeta family team is good right now? Because the answer is a hard hell no. It would be incredible if this Vegeta right here was able to just blanket be used on a lot of teams. It'd be nice if he buffed, Realm of Gods, if he was good for the Vegeta family team, stuff like that. But the problem that they always do with these heroes characters, unfortunately, is they love to do something like, Super Saiyan 3 Rose gets 50% damage reduction if there's, 6 other crossover allies. That's the type of stuff that they do with these characters, right? Xeno Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I think, is a great example of that, right? Where he's a character that, he is able to have, like, really, really good defense if you're on, basically like a full Dragon Ball Hero team. So I do kind of expect that for a lot of these characters, which is a bummer because, these kind of like goofiness of a lot of these heroes characters, this is a good way to buff certain category teams that typically we're not going to see a lot of buffs. I mean, Super Saiyan 3 Rose is going to be on Kuroda Body and Mind and Super Saiyan 3. Both incredibly limited categories in terms of the characters that they have. So him, again, just being crazy good would be awesome as well. Remember that Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, by the way, is actually going to have a voiced active skill. We should point that out. I do also have to mention that while we do know he's going to have a voice active skill, we don't know if that's going to apply to global or not. I do think it's kind of just like 50-50. I said this before, but I feel like at this point, if Vegito, had voice lines on global, we would say, oh, well, that makes sense. It's a Vegito, right? That's not the same thing as Hearts last year, who didn't have global voice lines. Hearts, of course, is a character that does not have an English dub voice actor. Not like they could just pull lines for Hearts. So, I mean, at a point, it makes a little bit of sense, I guess. Whereas Vegito, right, of course, it's Vegito. Like, they have a million lines they could use for him. But at the same time, I would not be shocked if it's just, oh, global doesn't have the lines. And then we just go, oh, well, global being global. So right now I'm kind of like 50-50 on if it's going to be voiced on global as well. I hope so. What I want is for everything to come to both games equally. So I would rather JP not get sick Vegito voice lines and then not have that on global as well. I saw some people talking about intro animation, stuff like that. I feel like they would have talked about that because typically intros do have voice lines, but I guess not always, right? There are a couple of intros that don't have voice lines. I know the free-to-play Int Bulma, she does not have voice lines in her intro. So I suppose it is possible. So remember, we have these characters are going to be coming. I do have the V-Jump scan here, courtesy of DBS Hype right here, which of course could show us some of the things that are going to be coming. Of course, we know about the banner. There's going to be the EZA, which are going to be these EZA characters. We are highly anticipating what Super Saiyan 4 Vegito's EZA is going to look like. That is going to be very interesting, because Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and Broly, look at their stats, right? We could really build a nasty, Heroes Super Saiyan 4 team, because Super Saiyan 4 Gohan is at least going to be good enough to be in the mix on this team. If, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is really good, and EZA Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is really good, and then Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly is really good, all of a sudden, I mean, we could be cooking, for sure. And then most of these characters that are going to be easing, by the way, are villains. And this is also, too, where it's hopefully, they're very light on the crossover and Dragon Ball Hero restrictions for these characters, especially the villains. Villains are just so unfun to use in Dokkan right now. They're so ass. They're so dead. Again, I would say unfun. It's just unfun running villains right now. So giving them anything at all that could help them would be really nice. I mean, we have one superclass character, Vegito, and then all the rest of them are actually villain characters, right? That is actually pretty interesting to see that just this entire EZA is essentially villain characters. So we have that. There also is going to be a burst mode in the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta Dokkan event. So I'm sure, needing some of these heroes characters will probably be a thing. There's a good chance, I would say, that the difficulty of this burst mode would be even lower than typical burst modes. I'm not exactly expecting super sonic difficulty here, but you might need to have some heroes units, I could imagine. And then one other thing we're really hoping for is that maybe they could add new stages. Let me actually pull it up, to the Dragon Ball Hero Red Zone. I think that would be super sick, right? If they gave us, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito Red Zone stage, that could be so much fun. That's something that they really could do right here, is add some new stages. I did think that Cumber was a decently fun fight last year. I didn't mind Cumber as a kind of a Red Zone fight. I had some fun, doing some, runs in this Heroes Red Zone. So, again, I would really love to see an update to this. They could get us a couple of stages. I don't know, a Super Saiyan 4 Broly stage, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito stage. These could be pretty cool. So we do have a lot of stuff coming up, man. burst mode, potential new red zone stages, major EZA. We're going to have several banners, right? Because typically what they do is they put all the EZA characters on one banner, and then of course we'd have these summonable characters be on the other banner. So, you know, we are able to anticipate that there's going to be a lot coming. I really hope these guys are going to be good. It's just like, even if they make like Super Saiyan 3 Rose and Limit Breaker Vegito, like if they're like Turles level, it's like, yeah, I mean, that's good. Like that means they're runnable, but that also means runnable with a lot of question marks and surprise Pikachu faces when we eat 800k damage and die in one hit, right? So, we'll see. It's weird. As time goes on, I don't like what Dokkan has done in 2023, which is they've made all of the major celebration characters supremely good. They're like all good. All the major celebration characters are just across the board, pretty much just unanimously good, right? Like the only bad major celebration character this year is Int Goku Black's TUR EZA, but then they made up for it 1 week later with LR Goku Black with a very good EZA. So, and then all the characters that are not major celebrations this year are like all ass. I like only a couple of them. All right, like I could hear someone say, "What about Beerus?" Haha, Beerus is a major celebration character. He's Tanabata. Beerus is a Tanabata character. So yeah, like it's like go through. What about Bulma? That's Golden Week. We're counting that. What about God Goku? That's Saiyan Day. We're counting that, right? Like you just go through all the good characters this year are major celebrations. So I'm hoping that Dokkan will break that trend. And Heroes will be good. These are fun, right? Like this is just stuff that's out of the ordinary. Super Saiyan 3 Rose and Super Saiyan 4 Broly, right? Like this is cool stuff. So hopefully they make these characters good enough for us to be able to run them effectively. Let me know what you guys think about the Heroes stuff all coming. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.